This is a Middle Loop quick class.
Hi, I'm Jerry with Middle Loop, and this is a quick class by request. In this quick class, we'll explore copying videos and photos from the DJI RC Pro and the Mavic 3 to an iPhone. We'll show what works and what doesn't work, and we'll look at both wireless and wired solutions. If you're asking why iPhone, know that most of the solutions discussed today should also work on other phones. But the requests that we received for this tutorial were specific to the iPhone, and that's where we've done all of our testing. We'll start with a quick overview of what cached files are versus their high-resolution counterparts. Then we'll jump into transferring files, first from the Mavic 3, and then we'll go over copying files from the RC Pro. For both, we'll discuss various methods, and we've provided links in the description if you'd like to jump straight to any one topic. Real quick, if you find this video useful, we'd appreciate it if you'd help us reach our subscription goals by hitting that subscribe in the lower right. We have a long list of planned videos as well as requested videos like this one, and by subscribing, you'll easily be able to find them in the future. Now, let's get started. When taking photos and videos on your drone, especially the newer drones, there are a wide variety of resolutions available to you. For videos, anywhere from high definition, HD, to ultra-high, 4K, and up to 5.1K on the Mavic 3. These high-definition videos and high-resolution photos are great for producing cinematic videos and printable photos, but they're big files, and that much data is too big to transmit real-time back to the controller, so they're only recorded on the drone. The cached files, also known as working or reference files, are much smaller and are captured on the RC Pro. Now you have the option to turn them off and not capture them at all. You can also limit how much space to set aside for these files. These files are meant to be used as a reference. It allows you to review what your drone captured to help you decide whether you want to reshoot or not. You probably wouldn't consider using these files in your final production. However, you might find them perfectly acceptable for posting to social media. The first method we'll discuss is QuickTransfer, which became available in January of 2022 and allows you to transfer files wirelessly and fairly quickly via Wi-Fi 6 from the Mavic 3 to a device running the DJI Fly app, like the iPhone. In this tutorial, we'll get into details on how to use it. Because there are several messages that you'll see which are one time only the first time you use it, we'll quickly run through it a second time to give a better feel for what the typical day-to-day experience is. So let's get into it. To use QuickTransfer, turn on the Mavic 3 and then open the DJI Fly app on your phone. The Fly app should automatically detect your Mavic 3, and you'll receive this prompt to switch to QuickTransfer mode. Tap Switch. It'll then attempt to connect to the drone. This is where you'll see the first one-time message. The Mavic 3 is requiring authorization to connect. Just follow the prompt and hold down the button on the battery of the Mavic 3 for a couple of seconds. Next, you'll be prompted to join the Mavic 3's Wi-Fi network. Tap Join. More spinning while it connects. You'll then come to another first-time-only prompt, which is to connect to a device found on that network. Tap OK. A little more spinning, and then this prompt to view the album on the Mavic 3. You're almost there. Tap View Album, and then this last one-time-only message asking to access the phone's photo album. Select Allow Access, and that's it. Okay, so that was painful, but I'm really glad that DJI has taken a lot of precautions to prevent someone from hijacking the drone or disconnecting it from the controller while you're flying. Let's run through it again quickly so you can see the typical day-to-day experience. The Mavic 3 is on, and you've opened the DJI Fly app on your phone. You're prompted to switch to QuickTransfer mode and tap Switch. Then you're prompted to join the Mavic 3's Wi-Fi network and you tap Join. And that's it. Here you can see how much battery is available on the Mavic 3. You'll probably want a fairly full battery the first time until you get a feel for how long it takes and how much battery it uses to transfer images and photos. Tap View Album. From here, to start downloading, simply tap on an image or video. You can view it, delete it, or download it. Let's tap Download. By default, your image or video is downloaded to the phone and shows in both the Fly app's album as well as on the phone's photo album. But if you want to keep it out of the phone's photo album, select Save to App Album only. You should note that if you're intending to post the image to social media from your phone, you might want to leave it as is and sync to both albums. Also, if you don't want to get prompted every time, you can check this checkbox to remember your selection. When you're ready, tap OK, and you'll receive this message when it's done. Incidentally, QuickTransfer does not allow for downloading videos shot in 5K or higher at this time. If you try to download them, you get this message. But if that changes in a firmware update, I'll be sure to note it in the description. There is one method that we cover later that gets around that restriction. Now let's look at copying files from the RC Pro to the iPhone. I find it somewhat ironic that users of the expensive RC Pro have trouble moving files from it to the iPhone, while users of the less expensive standard controller don't have that issue. Of course, that's because the standard controller uses the phone itself to cache the files, so they're already on the phone. But for users of the RC Pro, it has proven to be a challenge. So why would someone want to copy the RC Pro's cached files over to the phone? Well, they're smaller, and it takes up less room on your phone than the high-resolution versions we showed earlier. And of course, once on the phone, it's easy to post to social media. If you're interested in posting to social media straight out of the RC Pro, I'm working on another tutorial that'll get into that in detail. When it's ready, I'll add a link to that video at the end of this video. Another reason to subscribe. Let's get into transferring from the RC Pro to the iPhone. I was so excited when I saw the RC Pro had a Bluetooth share feature. Before you get your hopes up, I have tried and failed using various methods and changing various security settings to get this feature to work on the iPhone. I can easily pair them, it looks like it's going to work, and then it fails. I can copy files in the opposite direction from the iPhone to the RC Pro, just not the other way around. And I've read lots of posts where lots of people have had the same problem, and I've not been able to verify whether this is just an iPhone issue or not. If you've gotten this to work, please share it in the comments, specify the phone type, and I'll be sure to note it in the description. By the way, if you've attempted the Bluetooth share and have failed, you get this message every time you turn on the RC Pro. To clear the message, open the shortcut settings screen, push and hold the back button, and rock the 5D button down. In the notifications area, tap the message. Then, in the upper right, tap the icon with the 3 dots. Select Clear List, and then select OK. Alright, so far we've shown what doesn't work when moving files from the RC Pro to the iPhone. So what does work? In a second, I'll show a simple solution using a hardware accessory that I like. But if you're looking for a wireless solution, you could use an internet-based file share like Dropbox, Google Drive, or iCloud. Of course, your RC Pro will need to be on the internet via Wi-Fi or hotspot, and of course, your online account must be big enough to handle these files. But it works, so let's walk through it. I'm assuming you're already on the internet. In this example, we'll use Dropbox. Open the Firefox browser and log into your account. From there, upload your files to your account. If you're having trouble locating the files, keep watching this tutorial. In the next section, I'll cover how to expose them and where to find them. Now from your phone, open the Dropbox app or use the browser again and download the files to your phone album. If you're looking for a simple solution that's quick and easy, doesn't require Wi-Fi or a hotspot, doesn't have a 5K resolution constraint, and you don't care that it's not wireless, then this USB drive might be your answer. It has a USB-C connector on one end and an Apple Lightning connector on the other. If you're interested in this device, I'll provide a link in the description below. I'll also provide information on an alternative hardware device you might prefer. The first step is to copy the files from the RC Pro to the USB drive. Then you plug it into the iPhone and copy the files over from there. This device uses the RC Pro's file manager to move the files. But since the cached files on the RC Pro are hidden, they'll need to be exposed before you can access them in the file manager. On the RC Pro, open the DJI Fly app. Then in the bottom left, tap on the album. Here you can see all the cached files stored on the RC Pro. Tap on the cached video or image you wish to download. Then in the upper right, tap on the share icon. This warning message is just a reminder that you're accessing a low-resolution cached file, which is great. If you want the high-resolution file, you could use the method we discussed earlier in this video. So I'll tap on Yes, I'm sure. You're prompted to Save to Album. Tap OK. So now that we've made the files we want visible, let's copy them to the USB drive. Back all the way out of the DJI Fly app and open the Files app. Notice that when we open the Files app, ours defaulted to the internal storage drive. But if you didn't, You can change it by tapping the three bars in the upper left. Okay, so from the internal storage drive, scroll down and tap on the DCIM folder. By the way, I'm just doing a short tap on the folder name. If I were to tap on the folder icon, or tap and hold on the name, it would select the entire folder, which is fine if you want to copy the whole thing. But in this example, we want to drill down into the details of the folder. Next, tap on the DJI album folder. Here's the cached video we just exposed and the photo I exposed earlier. Incidentally, this is also where you'll find compositions and trimmed files that are created using the album editor. But that's a whole tutorial for another day. Now, tap and hold for a second on the first file you wish to copy to the USB drive. Then tap as many as you wish to copy. Next, in the upper right, select the three dots icon and tap Copy To. Now we need to select where we wish to copy the files to. Right now it's defaulting also to the internal drive, but we want to change it to the USB drive. Change it by selecting the three bars in the upper left. Now I also have a MicroSD card installed, which you can see here, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But for now, I just want to copy the files to the USB drive, which is here. From here, we can select and copy to any folder on the USB drive, but I'll just use the root directory. Tap on the Copy button. You get this message at the bottom while it copies, and that's it. The files are now on the USB drive. Now before pulling the USB drive out of the RC Pro, I recommend closing the Files app and power off the RC Pro. Now let's copy the files from the USB drive to the iPhone. Plug the Lightning connector end into the phone. This particular device comes with its own app which automatically launches when you plug it in. From the app, select Copy Files. Then select Copy Files from iExpand drive. Since I copied them to the root directory, I just need to scroll down to find them. But you may need to drill into one of the folders if that's where you put them. Just tap on the files you wish to copy over, and then tap on Copy to iPhone. And that's it. You've successfully saved the cached files from the RC Pro to your iPhone. I mentioned an alternative device earlier. You could copy the files from the RC Pro to a MicroSD card. I showed you where to find that earlier. Then you can get a card reader for the iPhone and copy the files over that way. I personally haven't tested this, but I have seen others who have, and I've seen the device available online. I'll also supply a link to that one in the description. That's it for this tutorial. Again, if you haven't already and you find these videos useful, please subscribe. You won't get spam, but if you do want to get notified whenever we post a new video, be sure to click that notify bell below. There's a lot more coming. If you'd like to learn more about Middle Loop, click Show More in the description below, which is also where you'll find the links I mentioned in this video. Thank you, have a great day, and happy flying.